Admiral Liora Hale entered the Galactic Council spire with a measured pace, her boots tapping softly against the obsidian floor as 1,000 alien eyes followed her approach. The chamber rose around her like an inverted cathedral, filled with suspended platforms where delegates hovered in silent judgment. She sensed no welcome here, only expectation sharpened into hostility, yet her face held the same calm composure she had worn through every crisis humanity survived. High Chancellor Vrax Yulan waited at the center dais, a raised disc ringed with silver glyphs that pulsed in rhythm with his breath. He stared at Hale with a confidence carved from centuries of dominance, certain the ultimatum he was about to deliver would break the will of Earth's representative. Hale bowed neither head nor posture, she simply stepped to her designated circle, hands clasped loosely behind her back. "Let the record show that humanity's envoy has arrived," Vrax announced, his voice amplified by the chamber's resonant lattice. "We convene today to address the escalating threat posed by Earth's uncontrolled militarization." The surrounding delegates murmured in agreement, some nodding vigorously, others silently calculating the political weight of the moment. Hale observed them without reaction, noting who seemed eager and who seemed frightened. A hologram ignited above Vrax, depicting Earth encircled by the Council's armada. Hundreds of warships formed a luminous cage around the blue planet, their formation a visual threat impossible to misinterpret. Delegates watched Hale for any sign of shock, but she only tilted her head slightly, studying the projected blockade as though reviewing a weather pattern rather than a weapon aimed at her home. "Earth stands accused of destabilizing the balance of interstellar security," Vrax declared. "You will surrender all quantum defense systems, long-range strike vessels, and artificial intelligence research exceeding Council parameters. Compliance will preserve peace. Defiance will mandate corrective action." His words reverberated through the chamber with ritual confidence, crafted to intimidate. Hale raised her eyes to Vrax, the faintest trace of curiosity flickering across her expression. "On what legal basis does the Council demand the disarmament of a sovereign world?" she asked. Her voice was steady, without hostility, but the chamber tightened as if she had fired a weapon. Vrax responded with a practiced smirk that exposed his expectation of simple compliance. "The Council determines legality," Vrax replied. "Human unpredictability endangers every established order. Your rapid expansion, unregulated technology, and refusal to submit your weapons for inspection reveal intentions inconsistent with peaceful neighbors." He leaned forward slightly. "Earth has one opportunity to demonstrate responsibility. You have 48 cycles to comply." Hale absorbed the declaration silently. She caught the subtle looks exchanged between several delegations: fear, uncertainty, resentment. Some despised humanity's rise, others dreaded the precedent of forced disarmament. The chamber was not united, it only pretended to be. She allowed a slow breath to settle her thoughts, then addressed the room with a voice that carried without being raised. "Humanity acknowledges receipt of your ultimatum," she said. "But we contest the premise. We have harmed no world, violated no treaty, and acted only in defense of our borders. If your concern is stability, transparency must apply equally, not selectively." Her words rippled across the chamber, unsettling those who expected trembling compliance. Delegates began arguing among themselves, voices overlapping in confusion and agitation. Some shouted accusations, others demanded proof. Hale listened without interruption, mapping alliances and fractures with quiet precision. She recognized which species would retreat from confrontation and which might escalate under pressure. Their chaos revealed more than any dossier could offer. Vrax slammed his staff against the dais, forcing silence. "Earth will comply," he said sharply. "You will not question the Council's authority." Hale regarded him steadily, the faintest shadow of a smile forming, not amusement, but understanding. She had his measure now, a leader confident in power yet blind to consequence. She stepped forward, stopping just short of the projection of Earth's encircled image. "Your ultimatum is noted," she said. "Earth will issue its response through appropriate channels." She paused, letting the silence stretch until the weight of her composure pressed against every delegate's nerves. "Expect precision." Not a murmur rose. Even the more confrontational species watched her with a new wariness, sensing something they had not anticipated. Hale offered neither defiance nor fear, only certainty. The kind that suggested Earth had prepared for this confrontation long before the Council recognized the possibility. Hale turned away from the dais and walked toward the exit platform. Each step echoed through the chamber, the rhythmic sound more commanding than any speech she might have delivered. She did not look back. The galaxy had presented its ultimatum. Now Earth would answer. Outside the chamber, the grand corridor stretched beneath towering spires of transparent alloy, each structure reflecting the shifting colors of Vectaris Prime's trisun sky. Hale moved through the passage without haste, though her mind processed every detail of the confrontation with razor clarity. The ultimatum itself carried no surprise. Intelligence reports had predicted the Council's maneuver for months. What mattered were the reactions she had observed: fragmentation among the delegates, hesitation masked behind formality, and the unmistakable flicker of fear appearing whenever she spoke. Those tells were worth more than any official transcript. She reached a secluded alcove where her wrist console reconnected to Earth's encrypted quantum channel. Status icons glowed green across its surface, each one confirming readiness. Earth Command awaited her judgment. She allowed one final moment to gather her thoughts before initiating the link. The Council believed it controlled the pace of the conflict, assuming Earth would scramble to defend itself. They did not understand that humanity had long since abandoned reaction in favor of preparation. Hale tapped the console, sending a secure signal across the stars. The moment the connection stabilized, she spoke with unwavering calm: "Begin Phase 1. With that command, the course of interstellar politics pivoted, and Hale stepped fully into the role history had prepared her to assume. Admiral Liora Hale stood inside the secure command chamber orbiting Earth, the faint hum of the station vibrating through her boots as the encrypted quantum link stabilized. Around her, holographic displays shimmered to life: fleet trajectories, Council transmissions, and Earth's defensive grid layered into a luminous sphere of organized complexity. The tension in the room was contained but unmistakable. Every officer present understood the weight of the ultimatum she carried home. General Marcus Reeve, head of terrestrial defense, stepped forward first. His usually unshakable composure carried a subtle edge. "We saw the broadcast," he said. "They're surrounding us with everything they have." Hale nodded once, hands clasped behind her back. "Their formation indicates preparation for a coercive strike, not an immediate assault. They expect surrender under pressure. And if we don't?" asked Director Elena Vass, the lead strategist for political negotiations. Hale's gaze swept the room, meeting each pair of eyes with the calm certainty that defined her leadership. "Then they'll escalate. The question is whether they're prepared for our response." She lifted her wrist console, activating a live projection of the Council Armada. The sphere expanded, revealing ship classes, armament profiles, and trajectory predictions. 11,000 vessels encircled human space with mathematical precision. Carriers, dreadnoughts, and patrol lines formed a noose meant to suffocate resistance before it began. Reeve exhaled sharply. Numbers like that would crush any frontier civilization. "Any," Hale replied, "except one that built its defenses knowing this moment might arrive." She tapped a command, and the projection shifted to an entirely different network, Earth's hidden system, the one almost no one outside SRD truly understood. A lattice of luminous threads appeared, weaving through the void like a second constellation. Thousands of microsatellites formed intricate arcs, each connected to the next by faint pulses of light. At the center hovered a crystalline structure representing the core processor. Director Vass leaned forward. "Mirror." Hale confirmed with a quiet nod. 40 years of development. 25 of covert deployment. 11 of running predictive simulations on Council behavior. She paused, letting the weight of the revelation sink in. Mirror can map every ship in the Council Armada down to engine fluctuations and shield harmonics. Prediction accuracy, 99.98%. Reeves studied the web-like diagram with awe. "You're telling us Mirror can counter the entire Armada?" "I'm telling you Mirror already has." The chamber fell into complete silence, interrupted only by the tapping of data streams shifting across the holographic field. Hale turned to another screen showing thousands of synchronized target locks, non-lethal, passive, but ready to shift into active engagement at a moment's notice. This network can shut down engines, scramble targeting systems, and disarm ships before they fire, she explained. We don't need to destroy them. We just need them to understand we could. Director Vass hesitated. How long before the Council realizes we've done this? They'll know within minutes of our response, Hale said. Their sensors will detect the lock signatures. They'll freeze. Fear will do the rest. The officers exchanged glances, absorbing the magnitude of the strategy. Hale stepped closer to the central console and opened the channel used for interstellar correspondence. The blinking cursor awaited her command. Compose transmission, she said. A holographic panel unfolded. Hale dictated each word clearly. From Earth strategic response, ultimatum rejected. No compliance. Further coercion will be met proportionally. No threats will be tolerated. She reviewed the message once, confirmed its tone, then transmitted it into the quantum relay. The chamber dimmed for a heartbeat as the signal pulsed through the network, reaching every Council node simultaneously. Reeve folded his arms. That's going to cause chaos. That's the point, Hale said. Confusion fractures unity. Fear accelerates doubt. Within seconds, incoming feeds erupted with commotion from the Council spire. Delegates argued, shouted, and struggled for control. Hale watched the scene with measured interest. Some demanded immediate retribution, others pleaded for restraint. Vrax attempted to speak but was drowned out by species that now questioned whether the ultimatum had been wise. Hale turned away from the tumultuous broadcast and refocused on the mirror interface. With a subtle gesture, she activated the next sequence. The web of satellites brightened, emitting synchronized pulses invisible to normal sensors yet unmistakable to military-grade detection arrays. On the Armada's tactical map, thousands of markers shifted to a red state, indicating acquired targeting solutions. The system hummed as it engaged its silent grip on the Council fleet. A young officer in the corner, Lieutenant Kira Dawson, swallowed hard. They're going to feel that. They're meant to, Hale replied. It's the cleanest warning we can give. Another feed opened, showing the bridge of a distant Council vessel. Officers panicked as their consoles lit with alerts. Your vessel has been targeted. Do not escalate. No one knew where the signal originated, only that every critical system recognized it. Director Vass watched the unfolding crisis. The entire Armada just froze. They won't move until they understand the rules have changed, Hale said softly. And they will. The Council spire's broadcast cut abruptly as internal security attempted to restore order. Hale dismissed the feed. Their reactions no longer mattered. What mattered was the shift, subtle, but permanent, in how the galaxy would perceive Earth after today. Reeve approached her. This is the moment, isn't it? The one we've talked about for decades. Yes, Hale answered calmly. The galaxy expected fear. Instead, they'll receive clarity. A notification blinked on her wrist console. Mirror had completed its operation. Every Council ship was now mapped, targeted, and locked with non-lethal overrides. Any movement without authorization would trigger automatic countermeasures. Hale addressed the room one final time. Stay on alert. The Council will answer soon. When they do, they'll either speak differently, or not at all. She looked toward the starfield outside the viewport. The Armada's silhouettes hung like a frozen constellation, held not by force, but by precision. Stage 1 concluded, she whispered. And across the galaxy, silence deepened. The holographic chamber darkened as Admiral Liora Hale initiated a secure connection to the Galactic Council. The interface shimmered, stabilizing into the familiar outline of High Chancellor Vrax Yulan. His posture radiated anger sharpened by disbelief, yet beneath the fury Hale recognized a deeper thread, fear pulling at the edges of his composure. That signal your world transmitted, Vrax snapped, is a declaration of aggression. You will disengage your systems immediately. Hale remained still, her features composed. Your ultimatum threatened our survival, she replied. Our response ensured we would not be cornered. Vrax leaned closer, mandibles tightening. You have targeted every vessel in the Council Armada. Do you understand the consequences? I do, Hale answered, her voice steady enough to cut through the tension. Do you? For a moment, neither spoke. The silence stretched until Hale lifted her wrist console. A single gesture brought up the mirror interface behind her, thousands of synchronized vectors mapping the Council fleet with surgical accuracy. This is not an attack, she continued. It is a boundary. Vrax's eyes flickered, the first crack in his authority visible. You believe you can intimidate the entire Council? I believe clarity prevents disaster, Hale replied. You demanded Earth surrender its defenses. You threatened us with annihilation. I intend to ensure no species can carry out such threats without consequence. Before Vrax could respond, Hale initiated the next command. Mirror's lattice brightened as targeted pulses shot across the predictive grid. On the tactical feed, 14 Council warships, spread across multiple formations, suddenly drifted out of alignment. Their engines powered down in perfect synchronization, leaving them suspended in the void like silent monuments to miscalculation. Hale spoke without raising her voice. That was a controlled demonstration. No damage. No casualties. Their systems will remain offline until we release the lock. Vrax stared at her, stunned. How is this possible? You have underestimated humanity's preparation, she said. We learned from every treaty you drafted. Every sanction you imposed. Every threat you delivered. Your ultimatum may have been unexpected in timing, but not in intent. The projection surrounding Vrax erupted with the chatter of delegates scrambling to regain control. Several species shouted conflicting orders, others demanded immediate retreat. Hale watched the uproar with the detached focus of someone predicting each step before it occurred. Vrax slammed his staff down off-screen, attempting to restore order. You dare sabotage the Council's vessels, he roared. Release them now, or what? Hale asked. Her tone wasn't mocking, it was clinical, precise, yet it halted the Chancellor mid-sentence. His threat collapsed the moment he recognized the truth. The Council no longer held the position of dominance. They had relied on numbers, politics, and fear. Hale had answered with leverage none of them expected. Your armada remains intact, Hale said. Your crews are unharmed. But if you continue down this path, the next phase will not be reversible. Behind her, the mirror grid pulsed in slow intervals, measured, steady, controlled. It mirrored her own discipline. A separate holographic feed flickered to life, showing delegates arguing in real time. Some demanded negotiation. Others accused Vrax of provoking an unnecessary crisis. A few pleaded for the Armada's immediate withdrawal. No unified voice remained. Their illusion of stability had fractured. Hale stepped closer to the console. This situation ends now. You will rescind the ultimatum. You will pull your fleets from our borders. And you will treat Earth as a sovereign equal. She paused, letting the magnitude of her words settle. Not a subject. Vrax's expression shifted from rage to calculation. You believe the Council will accept such terms? They will, Hale said. Because the alternative ends in a conflict your fleets cannot win. Mirror predicted every countermeasure you might deploy. If you attack, your ships will lose control before they fire. If you retreat and regroup, we will know before your admirals issue the command. Vrax stared at her with disbelief that bordered on dread. You planned for this. Earth prepared for the moment. Coercion outweighed diplomacy, Hale replied. You forced our hand. But we will not escalate beyond necessity. For the first time since the connection stabilized, Vrax looked away, not in defiance, but in resignation. Hale sensed the shift. The Council's posture had broken. The galaxy would feel this change long after the chamber dimmed. A new voice rose on the secondary feed, a representative from the Silurian Pact, one of the more influential council members. The council rejects the ultimatum, the delegate announced abruptly. We call for immediate de-escalation and a review of the Chancellor's actions. Another species echoed the sentiment. Then another. Support collapsed in rapid succession, each withdrawal stripping Vrax of authority until he stood alone, surrounded by silence from former allies. Hale watched him closely. Your decision, Chancellor. Vrax's shoulders lowered, the gesture stiff but unmistakable. The ultimatum is withdrawn, he hissed. The fleet will stand down. Hale inclined her head. Transmit confirmation to all sectors. Once the withdrawal is verified, Mirror will release the locks on your ships. The Chancellor glared, resentful, humiliated, but he complied. His image flickered away, leaving only Hale and the hum of Mirror's lattice. Director Elena Vass entered the chamber quietly. It's done, she said. Long-range sensors confirm the Armada's retreat. They're pulling back from every boundary sector. Hale nodded. Good. Release the ships we immobilized. A few commands later, the 14 disabled vessels reactivated, their engines humming back to life with restored function. No damage, no lingering threat, only the imprint of a message delivered with unwavering precision. Reeve joined them, looking at the tactical display. You realize what you've started, he said. The Council will never view us the same way. They shouldn't, Hale replied. Today proved we're not a power to bully. We're a power to respect. The mirror grid dimmed, entering standby. The chamber quieted, filled only by the steady breath of systems transitioning to normal operations. Vass crossed her arms thoughtfully. The galaxy will rewrite its assumptions about us. Hale looked toward the stars visible through the viewport. The void was no longer a place where humanity navigated cautiously, hoping to be tolerated. It was a frontier they would now cross on equal footing. They underestimated Earth for the last time, she said. Silence settled again, not imposed, but earned. The kind that follows a decisive shift in history. The kind that marked the moment humanity stepped out of the shadows of larger civilizations and claimed its place without permission. Hale turned toward the exit. Prepare for the diplomatic wave, she said. The Council will attempt recovery. We'll respond with the same precision. No one questioned her. They followed, knowing the path ahead had changed forever. And above Earth, the stars observed quietly, as if recognizing a new force among them. The Strategic Response Division's command deck had never felt so still. Screens dimmed to low alert, officers worked in muted tones, and the hum of machinery seemed softer, as though the station itself recognized a turning point had passed. Admiral Liora Hale stood alone near the viewport, hands resting behind her back as she watched the last Council vessels slip into the void. Their retreat was orderly, almost cautious, as if proximity to human space had become something they now respected. General Reeve approached with measured steps. Their withdrawal is complete, he reported. Every fleet element has crossed the neutral boundary. We've verified it 3 times. Hale gave a slight nod. Good. Maintain surveillance, but no pursuit. They won't forget what happened today, Reeve said. Some will resent it. Resentment is predictable, she replied. Predictable is manageable. Reeve allowed himself a faint smile. Most leaders wouldn't describe interstellar resentment as manageable. Most leaders haven't prepared for it, Hale answered. Director Elena Vass joined them, holding a tablet covered in cascading data logs. We've received 37 messages from independent systems. Some congratulatory. Some curious. A few are attempting to negotiate new treaties. That didn't take long, Reeve muttered. Hale's eyes remained fixed on the stars. Fear accelerates diplomacy. But fear alone doesn't build stability. She turned from the viewport. We need structure, something that shifts the galaxy toward balance rather than reaction. Vass exhaled slowly. A coalition? Not a coalition, Hale corrected. A framework. A forum that treats sovereignty as equal, regardless of power. Something the Council failed to uphold. Reeve raised an eyebrow. You want to replace the Council? I want to create an alternative, she said. One that doesn't rely on threat or hierarchy. Vass hesitated. Earth leading a new interstellar order, that will provoke strong resistance. Only from those who fear losing control, Hale replied. And they've already lost the illusion of it. Before further discussion could begin, an alert tone echoed through the chamber. Lieutenant Dawson hurried toward them, her expression urgent but steady. Admiral, incoming transmission. Not Council. Priority channel. Origin, Silurian Pact flagship. Hale straightened. Put it through. A holographic figure materialized, Ambassador Kales, the Silurian representative known for his pragmatic approach and sharp intelligence. His frilled crest shifted with restrained emotion. Admiral Hale, Kales began, I speak on behalf of several worlds that no longer believe the Council can guarantee stability. Your demonstration forced truths we ignored. We wish to discuss a new diplomatic structure. Vass shot a quick look at Hale, surprised by the speed of alignment. Hale addressed Kales directly. What are your conditions? Equal representation. Transparent conflict resolution. Mutual defense clauses without forced allegiance. An acknowledgement that Earth now holds strategic parity with major powers. And what do you seek in return? Hale asked. A guarantee that your predictive systems will not be used to dominate emergent worlds, Kales replied. No species should wield such precision unchecked. Hale nodded. Earth will not govern by force. Our intention is deterrence, not domination. If we build something new, it must serve all parties. Kales considered the statement carefully. Then we propose a summit on Vectaris Prime, neutral ground, but without Chancellor Vrax's oversight. Vrax won't attend? Reeve murmured. Kales's crest fluttered with mild amusement. His authority is contested. Hale responded, Earth will attend the summit. But Mirror remains active until agreements are signed. A sensible decision, Kales said. We look forward to shaping what comes next. His image dissolved. Reeve exhaled. Well, that was unexpected. No, Hale said softly. It was inevitable. Vass tapped her tablet. Preparing summit materials. We'll need projections, policy drafts, diplomatic teams. We'll need clarity first, Hale interrupted. The galaxy is watching. They must see purpose, not victory laps. Reeve crossed his arms. You think they'll trust us after today? They don't have to trust us, Hale replied. They only need to believe we won't abuse the position we've earned. Her gaze returned to the viewport. Beyond the window stretched a field of stars untouched by political tension, a reminder of what drove humanity into the cosmos, curiosity, ambition, and the hope of belonging somewhere without bending under someone else's fear. After a moment of quiet reflection, she turned to her officers. Prepare a broadcast. I'll address the public first, then the galaxy. The chamber shifted into motion. Officers activated their stations, lights brightened, and a calm urgency replaced the earlier hush. Minutes later, Hale stood before the projection array. The pedestal lit with a soft blue glow, enveloping her in a steady halo. She inhaled once, allowing the weight of responsibility to settle without pressing her down. Begin recording, she said. The system acknowledged. People of Earth, Hale began, today we faced a challenge no civilization should endure, a demand for surrender disguised as diplomacy. We refused. Not out of pride, but out of necessity. Freedom cannot be negotiated under threat. Her tone remained steady, but an undertone of sincerity traveled through each word. The Council believed overwhelming force would silence us. Instead, we demonstrated that strength does not require destruction. Precision protected us where violence would have failed. We responded without harming a single life. She paused briefly. Earth steps into a new era, not as a conqueror, but as an equal among the stars. We will pursue peace with resolve, dialogue with confidence, and partnerships with integrity. But understand this clearly, no world will dictate our destiny. She gave a slight nod. End recording. The broadcast submitted itself to global networks. Within seconds, confirmation signals lit across the chamber. Reeve approached. You just changed the course of interstellar relations. Not alone, Hale said. We all did. Vass added, and now a summit. Now a future, Hale corrected. She turned once more toward the stars. Their silent brilliance carried none of the turmoil unfolding among the species that inhabited them. Yet Hale felt something shift, a sense that humanity's place in the galaxy had finally crystallized. For years, fear shaped Earth's diplomacy. For years, humility masked strength. For years, caution overshadowed ambition. No longer. She left the command deck with a final instruction. Set course for Vectaris Prime. The officers acknowledged her as she walked out, the doors closing behind her with a soft hiss. The galaxy had entered its next chapter. Hale intended to write it with steady hands and unshakable clarity, one decision at a time, one alliance at a time, one truth at a time. And in the vast silence between stars, the universe listened.